很高兴大家走到第2天的最后，然后非常谢谢各位用你们的耐心跟时间一起贡献了这个 conference。然后，而且我觉得我们面对，就像刚刚黄老师跟张老师提到的，就是我们面对的其实是一个完全是新的一个状况。那在这边，我想先邀请那个在座的各位，其实给我们一些你们的感想，因为一方面就是我们在设计下一个网络社会年会的时候，我们可以把这些那个意见跟这些建议收纳进来，变成我们再次相会的时候的一个基础。所以我想在这边邀请所有的朋友，请你们给我们一些你们很简单或者是你们想到的一些 feedback。我想我们在这边先邀请大家给我们一些。所以我想邀请，也许我们的讲者们可以给我们一些想法，然后做今天的这2天的一个结束。这边这边还有一个提问，
他们2个先。
那么我先不好意思，因为我之前拿了一个话筒，所以说我有个问题，其实是想问那个黄春田老师，就是我研究生所关注的领域，其实一直是我们的这个社区感、社区的连结这一方面。中国现在目前呈现出一个社会原子化的一个倾向，原子化嘛，照字面理解，人和人都变成了一个个单个的原子，联系逐渐的削弱。其实，在改革开放以前，国有制企业占主体的情况下，人之间的联系实际上是在国家机器以及这个国有企业中有一个紧密的联系。之后改革开放以后，就是各种私有制经济的这个发展，让人和人之间，就像你所说，淘宝村就是一个最显性的一个例子。就是说，我们经济都发展，但是我们人和人之间的联系感削弱了，所以说呈现出一个社会原子化的一个氛围。这么一个原子化，它的弊端，比如说它的显现是什么？比如说社会的戾气加重，功利化主义加重，人和人之间的公德丧失，这是我所面临的、我所关注的问题。那么你们关注的可能是，其实这个会议是一个侧面，从经济的侧面，而且经济，也就是说企业、社会的第2部门，第1部门是政府，第2部门是企业，第3部门是 NGO 以及非功利性的这个社会公民社会组织。那么其实中国这个第2部门现在是唱主角的，给我感觉这是一个经济的战争，一个 battle， 一个圈地运动。我在这边我所关注的其实一直是一个人和人之间纯粹的亲密性联系，社会联系。我跟你之间，我作为人和人之间我们的熟人氛围。那么我其实一直也是基于学校，基于我们的美术馆空间，我实际上是一个功利主义者或者一个实用主义者。我一直在这个有限的场所去实践我的艺术理念，我去搭建这些临时性的公共场所，光环境、沉浸式的，去引导这些观众，我们在里面建立起我们临时性的这么一个亲密关系。虽然这个不可能长久 lasting， 而且我也很实用主义，我平常不站起，然后
差不多。就是我觉得你刚刚提到这个对这个也算是对这个2天的会议的一个反馈，我觉得这是一个好的起点。然后我同时也邀请就是各位讲者、国际讲者以及各位在座的朋友也可以再加入，这样可以吗？
当然可以。
我晚一点在第2部分再邀请。
所以说我就直接抛出我的问题，你说。
您的问题。
所以说，而且我平常我也。
你的问题是？
好，我直接说我的问题啊，就是我这种关怀在现在是否显得不合时？另外就是西方社会是不是所有发达国家都经历过这么一个模式？虽然它可能美国是嬉皮，日本是比如说邪教或者社会的一个社区，一个叫社团运动， 那么在中国会演变成一个什么运作？我作为艺术从业者，我作为自上而下的一个个体，我的策略是什么？谢谢。
Michael, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I just want to extend what was said by Federico. I'm sorry I didn't get his name, but a couple of important points summarizing and reflecting on the last couple of days, but looking forward to the future. The point, what I understand coming from Federico, and reflecting on this last comment, I think we need a more critical and a more radical economic perspective. Not necessarily saying we have to all read our Marx before we come to these discussions, but my suggestion would be, if not Marx, at least to assume a more clear, and I would use the words post-capitalist or post-growth critique. I don't know if it's possible for this kind of conference to take a position like that, but a recommendation. I mean, his point was China is going through a lot of interesting developments, no surprise, developments that we know from the United States, that we know from West European countries, as well as other parts of the world. Not just an individualization, but an atomization of the populations. It's not just the disappearance of society. It's the emergence of a radical idea of a consumer, of an afraid, afraid millions and 10 millions and tons of millions of consumers. And now we're talking about networking. What are we networking? We're talking about networking these individual consumers, or can we envision something else emerging out of this? And I would really use the word mess that the capitalism is leaving us with. One other point, from my corner of the world, and from my point of thinking, I'm coming into this, as I said, as something more of a place-based community person, and I know we're talking about digital cultures, but that's a recommendation, is to more consciously look for the overlaps, the significant combinations of questions, problems, and solutions that go between place-based and interest-based communities. For me, that's an issue. I mean, I can't speak for people coming from digital communities, but for me, that would possibly make sense. I mean, we're talking about, we're talking about, the challenge of the disappearance of the challenge of holding on to Chinese or Taiwanese villages. We know these questions from North America, from Europe, from other parts of the world. They're not new. The questions are not going away. The questions of the family farm, of the small-scale industry, of the village. Of course, these all relate to the kind of global capitalism that we know. So I think, again, a more radical critique, an economic perspective, and then perhaps some kind of more clear connection between the kinds of communities that we're interested in networking. So, what's the connection between the places we live and the places that we're connecting online?
Yes, please. So, thanks, Michael. I think I'm going to pick up on that and sort of try to gather up a thread of our 2 days in terms of this notion of fabric, using it both quite literally in terms of networks, but also as a figure of speech. I was really captured by Seb's notion of seamfulness, or seamlessness, which fits in my notion of, let's say, good friction, this idea that friction is something that polishes, but also something that creates relations. Just now Ned was talking about this notion of the interval also being something that gives a
kind of texture or character that maybe the digital in its smoothness lacks. So I was, I think, taken by this metaphor of fabric always having a quality in its texturality, so that it's always these gaps and these intervals and these seams that give things a certain type of quality that we as humans can appreciate. And that the smooth network, the digital network, the capitalist network is something that seeks to erase all this texture, seeks to make things smooth, and I think this fits with this, let's say, post-capitalist economic analysis, where we see that capitalism seeks, let's say, the least frictionful networks and pathways, and seeks to eradicate by anonymizing, by atomizing all the friction in the system. It seeks this optimum efficiency, which is a smoothness. And that if we want to go past this kind of system, then we need to find the types of texturality and the types of friction that we actually want to work with, and kind of leave behind us this sense that someday we will be liberated from problems and slide through life as it were across a frictionless space. So I think that will be for me an area to explore further, both in, let's say, this more cultural sense as in an economic sense.
Yeah, I'm very happy with all the days. I think it's really reflecting reality, so it's a mess, and it will stay a mess for a while. I think well, we can change, but that's just up to you, the format. We need less panels, less talking, we need more interaction with the students. So tomorrow we have a workshop, and we hope all of you come to our workshop. It's a dying workshop, there will be 4 of us. We lost Jarmil somewhere in Hangzhou. He's in the building scouting for electronics, but he'll be there tomorrow. So we will be having conversations. We'll all be here. If you want to talk about research, do come tomorrow. We talk about research. We talk about these things. And I suggest that the next conference has 3 days of workshops, and maybe 1 or 2 talks, because this is a very urgent time. This is not a time to listen to people for a day, and because everyone here could be on that side. I mean, everyone here now has their story. So I understand we need to do it. We need to create some coherence, and I think we realize there is no coherence. So we might as well drop the format and start doing the work in the workshop. So I hope you all be there tomorrow for the workshop.
Thank you.
But again, thank you all. For just massive respect to all of you 3. Right? Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everyone. From yesterday, I'm thinking about all new and old problems. The key word of this conference was public, common, together. I think I agree that the new technology will opening the new horizon, a new possibility of a new common or new public space. But sometimes, so I understand that this will be our new context of social life. But on the other hand, we receive this new context of society on the context of our own culture. So I will show you the one example. Do it together. In the context of maybe this conference, together, do it together, enforce or enhance the possibility of individuals. But in Japanese context, together is sometimes oppress the individual. Yes. Yes. Sometimes it easy to understand as a metaphor of rice and rice cake. Rice. In rice, the grain is individual. But in rice cake, grain disappears to the whole. In Japan, together with 一緒みんな.一緒みんな. So when we talk, let's go together. You should obey to others, and no one responsibility for the all, because the decision was by all, not me. So sometimes the new technology was applied to the local context. This is this is new and old world because we are now we are living the layer of the society, the global and transnational, but every time we are living in local context. But new technology and the new philosophy relating to the new technology gives us a chance to think relatively about our society. So I think that this conference gave me the chance to think about rethinking about my cultural context and my university context. Thank you.
Thank you.
非常谢谢这一天两天这样会议下来，那作为一个以技术背景为主的讲者来讲的话，其实我听完2天的会议之后，就处于精神分裂的状态。
Congratulations.
那为什么会有这样的感觉？是因为对我们来讲，以技术背景来讲，我们的目的其实是要把技术发挥到最极致，让它发挥到够用就好。但是我们并没有想到后面的冲击到底是怎么样。那从2天的过程里面发现，网络到底是网络改变了这个世界，还是世界改变了这个网络？是一个正反问题，也是一个两面的问题。那我们看到最后王老师介绍淘宝的案例里面，事实上有一个非常有趣的是，到底那个边界在哪里？然后common在哪里？因为过去我们看到的网络世界里面，似乎在这样的环境里面就创造了共同。可是它本质性的改变之后呢，那个边界又改变了，然后这边改变之后呢，又改变了景观。所以到底这个过程里面，到底质变跟量变之间的变化要怎么去诠释？其实对我们来讲，其实是一个非常复杂的过程。那过去我们在这个技术的过程里面，我并没有考虑到这么多。我们的目的就是我的技术就是要达成目的的。可是对我来讲，我会觉得说我们获得到蛮多的反思，说之后我们在做这些技术的过程里面，到底我们之后的冲击跟社会的影响到底是什么样？这是我们的确必须要更深一层去想的一个问题。谢谢。
Two quick points. One, to comment on what was just said, the speaker before. I repeat something I said yesterday in my talk. I didn't say do it together, don't do it yourself. I said do it yourself and do it together. I am in no way suggesting, no way, and I think nobody here is suggesting that we lose sight of us as creative individuals. We're in a conference with artists and architects, so I think that can't be the point. But I think we have the philosophy and understanding to know that it's possible to have both of these. And I think it's in the concept of the network, and maybe we need some more discussion of what we mean with networks. When we have a network, we don't lose individuals. It's a network of what? Individuals, groups, things. So it's both. We need to develop this understanding that we're trying to network ourselves, network our organizations, our cities, our communities, without losing us as people. And then one more point, and that is reflecting on what Rob was saying. And I think this needs to be said before ending this conference and starting a new one. Things are urgent in this world. It's not just that Chinese villages are dying or Taiwanese, but I think we need to remind ourselves once in a while that things are serious in this world. This spaceship is in a sense flying out of control. And that's maybe not so much a shame for the older people like us in the audience, but for the younger people, it's a shame for the next generations that we are leaving a mess. And I think we don't need to suddenly just get out of our chairs and be activists and go into the streets. Yes, we're academics, we're other things, but I think to remember the urgency is something that should be part of a future conference. What's the problem? What are we working on? A discussion, yes, but are we interested in changing something? So I think to remind us that there's an urgency and that there are things that need attention, problems that are waiting for us, well, for the future generation here, for younger people, artists, architects who are problem solvers and designers, that we need to be talking about what needs to be done.
I just want to say that we're not just leaving a mess, and the mess is also not ours. It's also a tremendous opportunity. So, I mean, this internet and this Internet of Things is about radical transparency, right? And we've just gone through the first iterations. And to me, it's a positive thing. And all the negativity is not mine. It was also not really brought in by me, it's brought in by other people. So, especially, again, tomorrow we'll be having these discussions, and we'll go from a kind of realistic perspective, but from a realistic, positive attitude, that we have opportunity in this space. Otherwise, I would say, what else? What if it's not coming? So it's not as if we sort of longing for it. There is opportunity. There's plenty of evidence for that. So again, join us for tomorrow.
No, I just would like to precise something. I didn't mean that money is obsolete from a point of view of critical capitalism. I really meant it's obsolete as a unit of measure. In the sense that what we refer with money, with what I have in my pocket, it's not anymore desire. 1980s, I measured desire with money. 1990s, more or less, something between desire and debt. Debt, 2000. Now, what I would leave you with this question: what do you measure with money? Because that's central. And I'm not saying it from a point of view of, let's say, Marxist. I'm an anarchist. I don't like German philosophers.
Like Nietzsche.
那个，我觉得各位同学这真的很棒，就是说，这些讲者他们互相的修正、互相的补充，其实把这整个的一些观点讲得更完整。所以通常我们在某些角度上，我们似乎得选择，可是事实上在这些对话当中，其实我们可以更清楚，就是这一些彼此之间的一个整体形成的整体是什么。那我觉得尤其是Fred 最后刚刚抛出的钱跟这些的一些相关的讨论，其实也是明天的一个social money 就是社会钱包工作坊的一个很核心的命题。其实也某个程度其实也在解黄老师刚刚抛出来的问题，因为当这件事情已经变得这么复杂，可是那个后面的 networking， 那个后面的其实新的关系它所建构的基础不再是钱，而是其他一些东西的话，那会是什么？ 那也像盛林老师刚刚的那个演讲当中的那些案例，这些学生其实在地图上形成一个有趣的一些网络节点。那这些东西跟美院的学生的节点，或者是其他的高校的这一些交换的知识，然后甚至是要去其他想要进到这些地方的去帮助这些留守儿童的这些 networking 的这些方式又有什么不同？那甚至一个更极端的想象的 networking 这个东西，如果我们提供一些工具，让留守儿童可以去描绘每年来到他们家这边的各种老师现在在哪里，这件事情其实也是一种 networking。networking 应该是多向度的，其实这也是我自己比较喜欢 networking 而不是 network， 因为 network 是一个静态的东西。但是如果当我们开始面对新的可能性的时候，其实今天的这些各个老师们所准备的这些材料，其实会希望各位可以透过明天参加我们的这个工作坊来去消化，然后来去组装成你们自己的一些思想武器，然后面对新的飞船上面要干嘛？也可以想想，就是大家在你们主导的飞船上面，到时候你们想做一个事。所以我想我们今天非常谢谢各位参加到这个时候，而且也谢谢所有的国际讲者，你们跟我们一起2段旅程，然后我觉得非常谢谢你们长期的参与我们这一次的盛会，然后今天这个研讨会就到这边结束，谢谢。
Thank you.
谢谢。